So a lot of you may be learning to play the fiddle on your own without the benefit of an in-person teacher, and you may be struggling a bit with tuning. Maybe you're uncertain if you're in tune, maybe you're just, you're out of tune, but you don't quite know how to get it in tune. So I've created a whole course how to play in tune, which I'll talk more about at the end of this lesson. But in this lesson, I'm going to just offer a hack for playing in tune. A bit of a cheat, but it can be very helpful to use a clip-on electronic tuner on your fiddle. It doesn't even need to be a clip-on. If you have it on your phone, that'll work too. And so I'm going to talk you through some steps, but essentially it's finding the notes on the fiddle before you start to practice something. The key point for the lesson is to not use the tuner while you're actually practicing something, because that'll actually hurt you and slow you down in your progress to playing tune, because you'll become reliant on it. So let's get started. The first step, turn it on. Well, that's step 1A. Step 1B, point 4, just kidding, is now we're gonna make sure the fiddle itself is in tune. It may seem like an obvious step, but you may have forgotten that. I still forget to tune my fiddle sometimes before recording because I'm in a hurry, and so it should just be something you just do automatic. So my D is in tune, my A is in tune. So I actually recently tuned it, so I didn't have to tune it again. But you would take the time to really make sure it's in tune at that point. And if you're unsure how to use a tuner, if you're looking at it and you're playing on the A string and it's flat, you'll see the needle move like on the left, and that means the string is too loose and you want to tighten it until it gets here. And then if it's the other direction, it's too tight or sharp, we'll want to loosen it till it gets in the middle. Perfect. And A is 440 hertz for those of you keeping score at home, which means you're a music nerd like me. Okay, so that's the first step, to tune it up. The second step is to kind of identify what you are having trouble with in tuning. If you're not sure, then just start with a simple scale. So today we're gonna, the notes we're gonna find are gonna be the first 4 notes of the D major scale. Now, if you're practicing some other scale, G harmonic minor or something, you would maybe want to play the first 4 notes of that. And so basically, let's just go through that. We're going to tune up each one. So I'm going to play D, open D. So since I already just tuned that, it hasn't gone out of tune yet. Now I'm going to play my first finger, which is E. So that's flat. I'm going to adjust it until it's in tune. I went too far. That's pretty good. You don't have to get super obsessive about it, just get it close to the middle when looking at the tuner. So I have this note in tune. We're not done with it yet though. What I'm going to do now is continue to play it. Maybe even close your eyes and do short bows, because short bows are easier. And really listen to that. Get to know that sound, make friends with that tone. And then the final step, this is the Jedi mind trick of learning music, is called audiation. And I play that note, then I see if I can hear it in my head. If you can't quite hear it in your head, try to hum it a little bit. And go back to playing it. Now audiate it. So this is an incredible, powerful practice that I have a whole long video lesson and exercises and play-along tracks dedicated to. So once you've done that with one note, then do the same whole process with D2, F sharp, tune it up, then just play it, eyes closed or looking away, play rhythms, whatever. All right, and then do the same thing with D3, and you just meticulously tune up each note. And then you keep your fingers down, okay? Now here comes a key step. Step 3, using your right hand, turn off the tuner. Well, you don't have to use your right hand, but I did that because I want to keep my left hand in place. If you can't, then it's not a big deal. This is a very important step. Don't think that you can just look away and ignore it, because you're gonna slowly drift back. I mean, unless, I don't know, the point is, it's a very, very bad idea to be practicing and staring at your tuner to see if it's in tune, because you're gonna just develop a dependency on it. You'll be reliant on that device forever to play in tune. And so the techniques that I'll talk about later, where you actually develop your ear so you yourself can tell if you're in tune, or what I really want you to learn. This is just a hack to help you out if you're really frustrated and stuck. So anyway, so that's a long-winded step 3. The final step is just to practice whatever you're practicing. So your scale, your exercises, string changing and fingering, or your tunes, you know. So, and then maybe along the way, ooh, I hit a bad note. What do I do? Oh, well, I'm not sure if it's in tune. Then you do the whole process. You can turn your tuner back on, tune it up, and then do the same process. Listen to it, audiate it, hear it in your head, and then go back to practicing. And you just continue doing that. You kind of pausing to find your notes. Turn the tuner off, because it creates a little bit of a barrier to being able to quickly see if you're in tune. And that's a key point. You know, it's just easy to fall into a habit. I've seen a lot of my own students do this, and I can't tell them just how to run their life. I tell them they shouldn't do it, and they do it anyway. My mom did it too. My mom's learning cello, and she just stares at her tuner. What can you do? I'm trying to be a loving son. Try to help her. I think she's doing better though. Anyhow, so that's it for the lesson. If you're interested in this subject, playing in tune, I've developed a whole course on it. It's like a mini course. There's 4 main lessons. One's on drone tuning, playing and tuning each note with a drone. So it's kind of like this, but instead of using an electronic tuner, we have a pre-recorded drone that you use to tune it using your ear, which is better, okay? Because then you're more self-sufficient with your tuning. And then another lesson is on interval training, getting to know the sound of different intervals, like D1 to 3. All right, you just learn that sound, okay? And so there's all different intervals, D open to 3, D1 to A1. They all have different names of lengths, so I'm not gonna get into that here, all right? Another powerful way the third main lesson for playing in tune is just call and response. And it's basically doing things where you are listening to something and then you're playing it on fiddle. Da 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 da, da 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 da. So what this means is that you're constantly hearing something, then playing it. Hearing it, then playing it. A lot of times when people play, they're just barreling through playing and they may not even be listening that much. That's why this is such a good practice. And so to help you out and get you going on learning ways to practice this on your own, I created this library of tuning exercises, play-along tracks, which basically play something, then you'll hear something, and then you're prompted to use an open space to play on your own, okay? So that's call and response. And then the final thing is audiation, which I already talked about, but it's hearing music in your head. So it helps you remember tunes, if you can audiate a phrase. It'll help you remember that song. But even more powerful, I think, audiation helps you play in tune, because you can just play a note, see if you can hear it in your head. And so again, there's a whole bunch of exercises for audiation, and all these 4 things can be combined together in different ways. So anyway, well, I really hope that this has been helpful, that your tuning improves a little bit. Don't be too ambitious. Just 10% better, in a month. Because if you keep doing that, it's just going to get better and better, right? So let's just do it. Let's improve our tuning a little bit with a few different ideas. Okay, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more. Thanks for watching the video. Excellent! And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.